how did you dare to dream to do what you're doing today?
Well, in 2011, October, I found myself in a hospital bed in the ER for causes that I induced on myself from drinking and doing drugs. At that moment, there was an older gentleman that walked by my bed, my room, stopped, looked at me, and he had the AA Blue Book in his hand. I was like, okay, God, I got you. So, and it was a horrible life. I wasn't enjoying life. I was just living, not even really living, just work, drink, and so I had 3 days in the hospital to really think about it, pray. And I came out. I found a woman that took me to my first meeting. And I knew about AA due to my husband, who was prior in it than me because he got in trouble. But because they knew the story, they hammered me. You can't do this to him. And I was like, just blown away. So I was doing this for me, nobody else. And I chose to go to different meetings and I ended up with a sponsor. I did the 12 steps. I did my amends. And I continued working. It was not hard or easy. Sorry. People were putting bets on me. And it was a lot that I had to drown out, but also try to help heal me. I built a little God box. I found a little wooden box. And every time I heard someone say something negative about me, I wrote their name down and gave it to God. So then I started journaling. And later in the story, you'll learn why the name of my business. On my first journal, it said believe. And I wrote, I got it out of my head. So I continued that. And I was doing great. I never relapsed. Did I have trigger moments? Yes. In 2013, a friend of mine came into where I was working at a retail place. And that's when I got introduced to Young Living. She gave me 1 drop of peppermint. And due to all the poison I had put in my body, my breathing was horrible. So I breathed that in. I just breathed it in 3 times. And the opening in my lungs, I'm like, this is part of my journey. I need to know what that just did or what it even is, because I was on that getting healthy journey. I've already changed my diet, and just my whole lifestyle of how I did things. So that's where that journey started, was with 1 drop of peppermint. Then from that moment on, I went to a class and just learned. I'm like, I need to know more. Okay. And so we started with what Gary Young, the founder, he called the home remedy kit. It was 10 oils, a diffuser, and a few other samples. So what I did and what I was taught is take that oil and put it where you would use something else that isn't natural. So here we go. We're starting to put oils throughout our house. If you see my house now, you'd be like, wow. Anyway, it started with these 10 oils, and we just learned how to use them, and we just were using them for ourselves. But then the more it helped us, and because we were on the journey of wanting to help people, because we were sponsoring people and helping them through their journey. We just started sharing it. So we created a small business. So I have a business, and my husband is under me, and he has created his own little business. He goes out and he just talks about it because it works. He carries the cleaner with him because he's a contractor, and the cleaner kills mold. So when he's tearing up a floor or tearing out walls, he sprays that. So we just kept learning, kept sharing, kept learning and sharing. I have been to a convention, my very first convention. I have never flown before. I'm like, oh dear, I'm a little country girl. I ain't never been on a plane. So here I had a friend that was in Young Living, and she says, I'll be your fly buddy. So here we are, we're flying, and I'm like gripping on her, and she's putting stress away on me and peace and calming, and I made it. But I'm so blessed that I did. I learned so much, because you always hear about the seed to seal. Seed to seal. I went to this Utah farm, lavender farm. You got to see the seed to seal. I got to sit in the lavender before it went into big old distiller, and walked downstairs and was watching it get separated, and walked out with the bottle. And it only had lavender in it. That's it. That's it. So I actually met Gary Young. I met his wife, his children, and we have farms worldwide. You can go anywhere, and there's a farm of Young Living. So we just, and I've been to 3 other conventions. One was an international before COVID hit. That was 50,000 people in Salt Lake City. Huge, huge. But the people, the different countries that were there, it was just so amazing to see that we are the world leader in Young Living. We are 30 years old, family owned. And that was huge to me too, family owned. And us as business builders, we are part of Young Living. As you grow, you get some stock, and they take excellent care of us. Excellent. I call them my new family. That's the way it is. And so we just keep sharing, and I just keep teaching. The main thing I teach about is to what I learned from my own experience is getting chemicals out of your home. Just read your labels. I have 1 bottle of cleaner for everything. For everything. And I tell people, I says, and if you need to scrub, you know what your grandma used? Baking soda. Something that's simple. Let's go back to nature. So, yeah, so throughout this whole journey, my husband and I had a rough patch. We ended up getting divorced. But then a year later, we got married in Vermont, remarried, started dating again, got remarried in Vermont at the founder's home of AA. And I still today look at him and like, who are you? We're just so different people. So different, but it's a life of simple living. We worked really hard to have our home that we have. We did a vision board, and we just worked. We got debt free. And I have a realtor that did the vision boards with me that's on my team, and she knew what I wanted. She knew the home I wanted. She knew butterflies were my mother. That's part of my business logo. And she sent me this link, and she says, make sure you see the last picture. And I'm looking at it. It's right here. It's a stained glass butterfly window right in the peak of the home. So we're at our home.
What I next want to ask you about is your chapter in Warrior Women. Okay. You and I are both part of a wonderful organization, and I'm in book 2 of Warrior Women, second edition. And I believe you're Warrior Women, first edition, correct?
Yes. Yes.
Tell us a little about the process. Now, you had said early on how journaling truly helps you as you were going through your AA episode. And that was, I'm sure, a very emotional and painful process for you. But talk a little about how writing does help get through and removes that angst and pain. For me, I can talk about it for hours, but I would like you to tell your story.
Well, when like I talked about triggers or someone just made me upset, it's like, get it out of your head. Because if it sits there and stews, I know what would have happened. So I taught myself, for me getting better was write it out, get it out. I have a pile of journals that I still do it. You know, if you still get frustrated and you still, I don't get those triggers. I have no desire to drink. When I think about it now, my stomach churns. So I don't have that desire, but you still have them moments where you just need to dump, get it out, get the negative out. And when it came to writing Warrior Woman, see, journaling, it's just dump. You know, you ain't gotta worry about your grammar or your sentences. It's just dumping. So I had met Desiree Cruz, who's the main author of this, through her husband. I met him on Facebook, and I just let him know what he was posting inspired me. So he invited me to one of their networking things, which was very close to me. So I went, and I met his wife, Desiree. So I looked at her and I says, Desiree, how'd your mom name you? She says, from the Neil Diamond song. And I says, that's how I named my daughter, Desiree. So I'm like, all right, here we go. Another God wink. There they are, you know? So we just hit it off, and we had a great time that night, and we just kept in touch. And then she launched Warrior Woman, and she reached out to me. I'm like, you want me to what? I said, English is my worst subject. So I said, yes, I just did it, you know, and I never used to be good with the money part of things. But through my journey, I have learned a lot. We are debt free. So I have money, you know, it's kind of weird to say that, but I have it when I need it, or if someone needs something, you know, I'm able to help others. And so I had it, and I jumped in. I just did it. And it's my journey, you know, starting from being a young mom at 21 with 3 kids. So yeah, it was quite the journey.
I've read your story, and it's very inspirational. And it's amazing how, again, an angel came into your life, and the angel came into my life, she and her husband. I had attended Merge Worldwide. In fact, these are their colors, black and red.
Yep.
I just happened to own, I didn't know that there was their colors. This is what I wore to the event. And then I have socks now to match. So together, another God wink, putting people into my life, yes. You know, and I met you through the Warrior Woman Project, because I was working on someone else's chapter with them. And that's how I got brought into the fold on Warrior Women. Now, the third tier in my Smart Publishing Lifestyles program is, how did you dare now to prosper? Now, you shared that you are debt free. What and how did you go through that process? Because there's so many of us, and I include myself too, that still struggles with the debt situation. I lost my husband. Well, I didn't lose him. I know where he is. He's in heaven. My husband died March 22nd. No, March 11th, 2022. And that one first year, I got myself in so much debt using credit cards. So now I'm in the process of getting everything, taken care of. And it's a process. It really is a process. And I am living a very basic life. And I love the life that I'm living. It's not extravagant. And thank God I work from home, so I don't have commuting expenses or anything like that. But it is a process. Could you just share a little bit about how you and your husband did it?
Yeah. When we were in Young Living, I heard this thing about vision boards. So one of my mentors did a class, and it's just a bunch of us with cardboard and pens and magazines, and we're just putting things on a board that we want. So mine and my husband's was, we wanted to be debt free. We were newly remarried. He had bought his sister's mobile home. So it was like, okay, we're starting all over again. But we wanted to be debt free. So we put this debt here because we had medical. We just had stuff. I mean, we had many, many, many years of stupidity. So we just had stuff. So we just put that there, and then we put this one, and then we put this one. And then this, and the very last thing was our big thing was we wanted a log home on a mountain. So we put it on a bookshelf that was right across from our couch. So we sat on our couch and couldn't help but see it. So we stared at it and stared at it. It took us 4 years, but we worked hard and worked harder. He started his business. I started Young Living. I cared for the elderly in our home, and we just went, and we just took one thing at a time and just bit at it. Okay. And then we got to rip it off the vision board. Then we went to the next thing, and it was a journey. It took 4 years, but our thinking was God was watching us. He's seen us working hard, and not just, it can stay in the credit report. Who cares? That wasn't us in our new life. We made that debt. We wanted to pay for it. So for 4 years, we just kept going. And a week and a half after I paid off my car, which was my last big thing, because beginning of my journey, I bought myself a brand new car as this is a gift to me. I'm going to do this for me. I've never owned one. So I bought a brand new car with 25 miles on it. But now I want to pay it off. So a week and a half after that is when I got that email from my realtor friend. And I'm just like, oh my God, we did it. We did it. So I came and looked at it. I bought it I signed papers without even telling my husband. I went home and said, I bought our log home. He's like, okay. So it was quite a journey because it was just a hunting cabin. So you couldn't get a conventional loan. Had no water, had no septic. But we didn't find all that out until further on. And try not to get emotional. I was caring for this couple, and they knew the journey. They knew how hard we were working, and they're just loving people. And so he asked me one day, how's it going with getting this house? And I said, well, we can't get it. We can't get a traditional mortgage. Even if our credit was good, you can't get a traditional mortgage for a home like that. And so I said, it's just not God's timing. And so I went about my work and stuff, and they called me back in, and they're like, sit down for a minute. They're like, we seen you working hard. We see you. We are going to hold the mortgage for you. And I lost all control. I was just like flabbergasted. And they did. We went through the lawyer, we did it all. And so for almost from September when we actually closed on it until April, we had the mortgage, we had our mobile home to pay for, and all our other bills because we needed to put a sewer and water. My husband had to put an addition on because there wasn't even such a thing as a bathroom in this home. So it was grateful that my husband knows how to do all that. So we didn't have that expense of hiring someone, but so we worked really hard through that, paying 2 mortgages for almost 6 months. And we moved in. I says, Matt, as long as I have a bathroom, I'm good. So we moved in and we finished as we went, and I remember moving in. I had my little car and our driveway is just up in the middle of our 5 acres up on a mountain. And it was so muddy because there was no real driveway. We hadn't gotten that far. And so we would just gun it. And I get so far that I would just spin and my car went whoop, right in the mud. So here we are trugging all our boxes. And it was a journey. It was.
So what is coming in 2024 where you've expanded your dream?
Mm-hmm.
Now what are you going to be doing?
Well, I am going way out of my comfort zone. I just started putting it out there. I'm creating a Believe in Your New Lifestyle 2024. And I'm hosting a live event on January 6th on Zoom, 10 to noon. I have several speakers. So to begin, I took my word believe. Believe follows me everywhere because I believe in God. I believe in my lifestyle. I believe in young living. I believe in our life, our simple life. So it just keeps following me. So I took that and made it an acronym. And I broke it out to certain words that meant something to me. So I broke it out and I have a speaker for each word. I'm just going to invite people to come and just listen to different people's lives. Everyone will get a gift basket. We have a book to raffle off, the new Warrior Woman book. We'll probably just have a couple other raffles because at the end we'll have a little bit of time of questions and stuff. So it is to expand what I do and what I teach people, but also to let people know that something as simple as change your food, you'll feel better. Just simple things. In this crazy world, we got to find simple things. Nature, garden, grow your own food. That's what we do. We just live a very simple life. So that's my big venture, and I'm going to see where that takes me, and we'll go from there.